relationships between men and other people's men and
Oh
wives.
yeah, okay, all right. So out the gate, I saw Sidney Castile was on Tahir's podcast, and they were basically asking Sidney like why he not friends with people's spouses and stuff like that. And Sidney was like, I don't need to be. I don't need to be if like he don't talk to me. I talk to your husband.
Yeah.
And then he talks to you like I don't need to be your buddy. And I saw it and I was like, yeah, sounds normal to me. Sounds standard. Like I know a lot of people, not a lot of people. Some people operate from the space was like, if we're all buddies, then everybody should be buddies.
Are we really buddies though?
And no, you know what I'm saying?
Like that's my thing. Is like if you wasn't together with my homeboy, will we still?
What's
be
our
buddies?
relationship?
Yeah, am I still coming to you for things and asking you for certain?
No.
Most likely, in most cases, no. Like that's just not a. I don't know. I'm on that side too. I'm just like, yo, like, I'm not gonna like just come over there and be like, oh, so and so at home, hey, let me just kick it in the living room real quick till he get up in here. Can you give me something to drink, please? Like, I'm not doing that.
Yeah, I just don't. But I don't see the point of it.
Yeah.
Like I don't see the point. Kadi has a ton of friends. I don't talk to any of them.
Yeah.
Like unless we're planning something for her, or I'm not checking in with what they did. That ain't my friend.
Yeah, there's like my lady has like a few friends out here, but she's really close with one girl. And she's like, I know for a fact if I was hitting her up on the side, my girl didn't know, just to see like, hey, how's your day going, or how you doing, or like, hey, cause you would do something. My girl would be like, why you texting her for?
Yeah.
Is it something that I couldn't do? Like, if it's especially something that I can do, it's just like, what does the communication need to be open for?
Yeah, and some people have that mentality where like it's weird, and then some people are like, no, we all. And it's like, well, no, I have Janelle's contact because she watches my kids sometimes, you know.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But two, like she was when we plan your surprise party.
Yeah.
So stuff like that, but like I don't have Jess's contact at all. I wouldn't even know how to reach her. Like right now,
Yeah.
if something happened to you right now, I'd be like,
Shit,
shit, I gotta hit Xavier to hit his mama.
Does she have a social media at all? She does? Yeah, I don't even have that either. Yeah.
I wouldn't even know.
But I mean, it would literally be for that. It would be like, like I have it just in case, more along the lines for an emergency.
Right.
Now, on some ends, it's like what we're talking about with Kadi, is like she works in our industry, so does Janelle work in our industry.
Right.
There might be a time when Janelle might hit you without hitting me.
Right.
And be like, yo, I got this gig or whatever, or Kadi, I got this gig for you guys when they come through. And then, because sometimes she'll hit me. She's like, hey, could you hit Tony for something? We're like, nigga, you hit Tony.
Right.
I mean, it's like go ahead and hit Tony if it's on some business shit.
Right.
I ain't tripping. But if you just hitting up just to be like, so, how
it's just weird. Like,
yeah. But also too, like, and then you jumped to the conclusion. I won't say the conclusion, but you jumped to the basis of like, I just don't trust people.
I don't. And I realized that today. A lot of things that I do, I operate from a place of distrust. Of a distrust of one, people getting stuff done, but two, and this is just in general, I don't care if we're talking about friendships, I don't care if we're talking about, I do not trust people's emotions.
Yeah.
Because I know that I'm the outlier and I'm going to go logic first every time.
Yeah.
I feel like that's how things should be done. I think it's more efficient. But I don't trust anybody else to do that. I don't trust anybody else to give me the space or to, allow that moment of, all right, let's use logic here. Yeah. Most people are going to fly off the handle on emotion. So when it comes to people's spouses, let's say an incident happened or something that I thought was a little weird, and I bring it to that person, I believe I'm going to be asked out. I believe that I'm going to be the one, either the story's going to get flipped on me or the person's not going to hear me or they're going to, I just don't trust people's, use of logic.
First. I think that trust, like, I would say, if you don't trust people, go get therapy, Keon. But I will also say, too, it kind of makes sense because at the end of the day, we talked about this before, you can't control me. I can't control Gary. It's like I can't control how you're going to react. It might be a day where we're all fine. It's just like, oh, we're all smoothly running with logic. Even with you, there might be a day you run off emotion, right? It might be very, very rare, but I don't know what you might be having a day of days, and you might just flip or whatever the case may be. So it's like, I get that point too. It's just like, all right, even the trust factor is like, I can't fully put my faith in somebody else because it's just like
I don't,
and it's just is that
it sucks.
Is that a bad thing?
I don't know because I thought about it and I'm like, I do this because this is what life has taught me.
Right.
And I'm not talking about just people I know. If you just watch the world, most people, you get on the internet in the comment section. Most people are operating off triggers and emotion.
That's 100% fact.
You didn't hear what that person said.
Somebody in the car.
You didn't hear what was actually done. You are operating from your own shit. And I don't trust that your own shit is going to make this situation, like even in the sense where if I'm having a day, I'm still like after that outburst, I'm coming down immediately and be like, you know what, that. But that other person I do not trust. There's very few people on this planet that I feel like I can have a full blowout with or be 100% on it, and we're going to come back and it's fine.
Yeah.
Most people, I'm like, they're not going to handle this well.
Yeah.
Or they're not going to, or even when it comes to people, girl, man.
Yeah. Well, also too, some people will see things differently, right? You might, let's say, we might see things from two different things, right? Like, let's say, like, especially sometimes, I guess to put it on men and women, like if you're seeing it this way, your girl might see it a different way. But like, I didn't see that. I didn't see they were doing this. Like,
Right.
It's like I know this person. They just be saying hi to people all the time. Like, nah, the way he said hi was, hey, what's going on, boo? He said it with his eyes. Like, nigga, I saw him. He didn't do that.
Right.
And then it's just like, or it could be flipped around the other way. So it's like that trusting too. What about from like a standpoint of like dealing with like a significant other? Then it's like there has to be some level of trust in.
Oh yeah.
From an emotional standpoint.
Yeah.
If especially we're all dealing with the women that we're dealing with. It's like I have to. My woman has definitely worked on and gained certain things, and she has her moments. And she's gotten better at even reacting to certain moments.
Right.
So where I can now trust her more. And for her, I'm sure it's the same way for her with me, trusting me more. Gary, chime in, man. Shit.
I don't know what he's doing over there.
Looking at some data points.
On trust.
Yeah, on trust. Actually, the trust level of data. It says,
I looked it up.
With my tie on, I got to be a little bit more professional. Man.
Your sound's tripping?
My sound tripping.
It's not recording or keep stopping?
It like keeps stopping. The computer keep like going into sleep mode.
Turn it off.
I know. Hold on. I know what I'm gonna do.
You probably got to check your thing. She probably has her thing set it to where after like a minute or two it goes.
I know. I have all that on like never, but this shit just keep like freezing.
Oh, that's weird. I don't know what that is. But yeah, I don't and I just in life, I just want it to be as smooth sailing as possible.
Yeah.
All my situations. I don't care if it's work. But I just want it. Like I think I tell Gotti this. I was like, I think you underestimate how much I really want to chill. Like how much I just want to chill.
Yeah.
The fuck out.
I forgot. I saw this video of this comedian. I forgot his name, but if y'all know who I'm talking about, there's this video is kind of going viral. This comedian, he was saying men don't want to do shit. They don't want to do anything, and women want to do stuff all the time. And he was saying as a comedian, like he would fly into a city, and his girl want to hang out, so he'll tell his girl he doesn't get in until a certain time.
This is Mark Norman.
Mark Norman. Okay, I didn't know. I forgot his name. And he was saying pretty much like when I fly into the city, I tell her I'm going to be there at 7. When in actuality I get there at 4, just so I can decompress, do something. And that's like, and some dudes were saying that's not it, but I think for most men, we don't mind doing something at times, but for the most part, most of us just want to kind of chill and relax.
Right.
We don't want drama. We can like having a good time to us is relaxing. That is the good time to us. Like I had a great day today. What'd you do? Nothing. That was the greatest day of the days to me. I did literally. I sat here. I put my hand on my balls, and I smelled them every once or twice while watching the game. And that was a great fucking day to me. Whereas like especially when my lady, she likes to do stuff like we were running errands yesterday, right? We were running a bunch of errands, and I had to like get her brake light fixed and stuff like that. And she's like, I love doing this. I love like going outside and being with you. And she said it was so sentimental. She's like, I love doing this. And in my head, I was just like, I hate running errands. Like, I hate, like, it wasn't a thing towards her. I love being with her.
Yeah, this is cool.
It's great. But like, even running errands with you didn't make me necessarily happy for real. Because it's like, I hate running errands. When I gotta run errands tomorrow, I'm miserable.
Yeah, it's unfulfilling. But for a woman, I would imagine that it's like time together. Like, or you saying she just likes running errands, period?
Well, I think
she likes running errands with y'all together.
But she likes doing it together, but being out together. Like them being on the couch, I'm like, we're together. We're on the couch.
Yeah.
And I do it, but that's not doing something.
The way honestly, the way she felt about that us running the errands, and I'm not trying to push what she's saying down because I get what she's saying. She's just like, especially now that we're brand new married, and I feel like both of our energies have went up, right? To be like, yo, like I feel like we're married now. I do feel actually a little bit different, right?
That'll go away.
In what way?
Well, thanks, nigga. Thanks. We just be like, don't worry about it. But the way she felt about that was kind of the way I feel about us, like you said, us sitting on the couch together. Her with her leg or her feet on me, we're just kind of watching the wire or something like that. It's just like that to me is like, man, I love this shit. This is the best moment for us and how I feel.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I would probably, if I had to see from their lens, their perspective, is that the way that they're conditioned of what love looks like is much more public display of like, we're out, we're frolicking in the fucking meadows and smiling and like that's what love, looks like. Yeah. So to them, they don't watch a lot of Disney movies where it's just a couple sitting on the couch watching TV.
Yeah. But I did say this to her. I did say, and Keon will probably get off his rocks with this, but like I remember when I used to live with Keon and his family, and sometimes I would like it's like I was part of the family. He would take me to Costco with him. You know what I'm saying? Hey, come on to Costco, man. You know what I'm saying? And when I would see that, he had the boys with him. He have Cotty, and they're going around, they're eating free samples together. And I probably walked off a few times and dropped some tears. That was like,
oh wow.
Because I was like, for me, I saw that shit was beautiful to me.
Yeah.
Like he's laughing, but I laughed too when I was telling John about this the other day about her arrogance.
I'm laughing because it's the first time I'm hearing this.
Wow.
I'm literally getting a little teary-eyed now, but it was just like
I never know this.
So
where would you feel comfortable? Yeah, where?
This nigga
about a vacuum cleaners.
I'm about a Honey Butters of Oats being like.
Now you got to go by the big shit so you can
by the big bulky, by the big bulky fucking vacuum cleaners. Oh god! But I was like, I was seeing
funny.
I was seeing that, and I was just like, that shit. To me, I was like, that was a family to me. You understand? I grew up in dysfunction, like a lot of us did. So I grew up in dysfunction. There was moments when my mom and dad had great moments, but for the most part, I'm watching this, it's like they're going to Costco as a family. Hey, babe, try this free sample. Try this, blah, blah. They're bringing free samples to each other. They're giving free samples.
Was he giving her this? Was he like feeding her?
He's sipping and putting it in her mouth. Hey, babe, he wasn't doing all that. But but they were like exchanging samples or whatever. They'll be talking, and they were going around. There would be times where like. They show affection in the store a little bit.
And now I got this fucking.
It's a visual.
Now I got this visual.
Let me tell you something,
of them being
I'm done, nigga. I'm done.
Them in the foreground. Keon and Cotty in the foreground. Keon and this nigga in the backdrop. But they shift focus, and now they focus on this nigga just got a slight tear.
Hey man, that's it, bro.
You can't wait. Hold on.
Nah, fuck you y'all, man.
You can't tell us something the first time and us not have a reaction over what
man
said.
At the end of the day, this is the last time
I didn't know that. Because
I'll ever show my emotions.
This is all Keaton.
I done showed my emotions multiple times on this podcast.
But you know the way you presented it, though.
Your life away.
That's what I'm saying.
For me trying to be emotional out here.
You can't say I ducked away at Costco to cry.
Yeah. Now I need the backstory.
I dropped the tear. There's a difference.
But so like, because all Keenan's ever said was like, oh man, living with y'all was dope. I got to see a healthy relationship, blah, blah, blah. That's it. It was never what he was really doing or thinking or whatever like that. And plus for me to be hearing this, when we moved, he moved out 4 years ago?
Yeah, about 4 years.
3, 4 years? Yeah. Nigga, this is 4 years. I never knew this. I could have got my laughs out 2 years ago.
Yeah.
I didn't know this, so it's just funny, like the visual of it. But also, it's also very like, I don't know, is humbling the right word? It is touching. I don't know what the word is, but all right. So this is where I'm coming from, a space of I don't like when people online or in general are always like, you guys are a beautiful couple, like blah blah. Because I don't like the pressure of like. I just feel like it's kind of ridiculous to. Look at somebody's situation from the outside
and look at it as relationship
and be like relationship goals, blah blah blah. Granted, he lived with us, so he saw probably ups and downs, whatever. So for me, I operate from a space of so much like, nigga, who am I? That when people kind of like look to me for something, I just be like, don't do that. Just cause like I'm I be fucking up. That's why I say it so much. Like, nigga, I be fucking up. Because I never want people to ever be like, put that pressure of like perfection.
Well, that's why
You know what I'm
why I
saying?
probably didn't say anything super early because it's like I'm wiping my nose because I was gonna wipe my nose. I'm not because of
He has
nose,
allergies.
right? But the reason why I didn't say anything because I know that I know it's not about I know that you fuck up, but it's like I know that as people we mess up.
Right.
I know that nobody's perfect. I'm just going off like from what I've saw and from some stuff that you might even know about me. It's like I grew up in complete
Right.
dysfunction in the family with physical and mental abuse, and then to see a family and a couple handle things where it's like there's arguments of course, but like a lot of times there's a comeback. I'm sorry, all right, let's bring it back down here. There's even when his mom and they moved in, it was like even observing and watching that, it's like they handle stuff the same. Like I never saw them argue, to be honest, but it's just like they do a good job.
I've never seen them argue ever.
Yeah, I've never seen.
My mom and her husband.
Yeah, I've never seen them argue.
I saw a brief, like real quick, but granted, I don't live with them anymore.
Right, but even when they were
Well, I never did, but
when they were staying with Keon,
Right,
it was like,
that's 2 years.
I never saw in 2 years. Their room was right next to mine. I didn't hear any. Like you hear like
Right,
try to keep
something.
it quiet.
Yeah.
I never heard anything. So it was just like it was the maturity of people and how they handle things, and what I'm saying, probably from their past too, being like, all right, I didn't handle it best in this situation. Now I'm gonna handle it better in this situation. And it was the same reason why when I walked into the what? Sound like my signature.
oh, okay. I thought the toilet was running.
It's why when I got into a situation with my wife now, it's like, all right, all of the dysfunctions that I've seen is like I got a chance to see actual like a good functional family too, and be like, all right, this is what I want. And I've already kind of saw that without that, but then when I saw it live, it's good to see live. Like my aunt is kind of a similar way to where she has a pretty good family. She has stuff going on, but it's like, I never said that because
You know what? I appreciate you.
oh man, appreciate it, yeah, man.
You know what? That was a huge compliment.
And you
originally.
laugh, nigga.
It was funny. It was funny. But now that I'm sitting here hearing what you're saying, that's actually pretty dope. Because that is a compliment to me, I guess, and her that, we're doing okay.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If that makes sense. Like we're doing.
Even if you might feel like, man, like we have our moments here and there, but it's just like, nah, actually, because even when you look from the outside looking in too, at times like sometimes you might have a rough patch. I think every relationship is going to go through a rough patch, but it's like when you look on the outside looking in, it's like, yo, you're actually doing well in the grand scheme of things. Like the pandemic fucked a lot of people at the end of the day. You saw a lot of people who got divorced, broke up, and this is like
So many divorces.
so many divorces, bro. And it's just like, but I saw a handful of relationships, only a handful, get stronger. Like they leveled up in the pandemic for their relationship, whether it's love, sex, or whatever the case may be, just emotionally getting to know each other better. Like some people leveled up in that. So, for me, I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, I was for the when I'm in the streets, I'm for the streets. That's how I look at it.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But when I'm in a relationship, I love the relationship. I love the person that I'm with.
Nah, fuck that. Still the street. Nigga, nah.
I wanted to work. I love
Yeah.
seeing a dope ass good relationship from people.
Now that I understand, because I
Yeah.
do like seeing when people are like meet a person and it's going. I really be pulling for them. Like
Yeah.
I pull for love. I pull for, Granted, I'm gonna roast the stupidity, but I'm actually pulling for successful, healthy families. Like
Right.
2-parent home. I pull for all that shit.
Yeah.
I'm like, yo, I'm a fan. I'm a fan of the family dynamics and beautiful, because it's like there's so much bullshit in the world that I'm like, I'd be really happy for people like, oh, that's dope. Like,
Yeah.
hope y'all make
Yeah.
it.
You're
all
like,
that other
nah,
stuff.
man.
No, I'm with it. Also huge advocate and support for that. But it's also it's also understanding the work, like learning of the
Yeah.
work and the amount of work that it takes to like make it a success. It's
Yeah.
like I'm like, damn. So now when I see it, I'm just like, oh, because you think it's like it's a natural thing and things just kind of flow. And I know they're probably few and far between as the couples who just kind of just have a natural fucking synergy.
Yeah.
For the most part, people working, nigga, we
Right.
working out
Right.
here to
Yeah.
make it work. So yeah, definitely flowers to anybody who can really make it work. I wanted to touch on the whole like the kind of separation thing of when you said he was like, I don't have a reason to talk to like his,
Yeah.
his wife or whatever. I understand that. I understand like maintaining sort of that like that code and sort of that layer of protection for like in respect for that relationship. It's pretty old school.
Yeah.
But then there's also the argument of like, but we're together and we trust each other. There's no real like threat there.
Right.
So there's two schools of like, no, this is old school. That's that man, wife. I don't need to form a relationship with that person. But I also think there's also somewhere in between where like if this is sort of if that's the sentiment, then it may feel like he's intentionally being cold, intentionally being like antisocial, or intentionally being like standoffish in a way.
Well, I'm not a fan because I normally edit DIY, so like I saw what you were talking about. I went through it. I will say I'm not necessarily agreeing with like the standoffish energy of it. Like
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah,
it's like if I see you, it's kind of like it's like to me.
Is
it's like,
it? Do you feel like it could be interpreted like from her perspective, like
for sure
he's just kind of standoffish?
Yeah, it's kind of like, oh, this motherfucker's asshole.
Okay,
And
okay.
Here's the thing. I think.
But she said the same thing about me too, though.
Yeah.
Okay,
And
but
he
you
told me.
Right.
He told
Okay.
me. But I was just operating from the same as Sydney. Well, one, I told her, first of all, Farron, when I see you, you look different every time. So I didn't even recognize you the first 10 times we met because you look different every time. But then it was like, well, here's my guy. I'm just getting to know, you know what I mean? Like, and I just didn't have a reason to be like, what up, buddy?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Now when I see her, it's been years now. Now, what up,
Yeah.
nigga? You know what I mean? But
And some people are more naturally just people. Like people.
Right.
Like oh, I'm fucking. You know, and then Tahir's kind of has that
Tahir's-
aura too.
oh, he is
Yeah, he's a
very-
big
personality.
personality.
It's
So
like
it depends.
It like reminds me of Brennan. Like Brennan would come up to you. Like Brennan would come and he'll see Janelle. Like, hey Janelle, if I'm over there talking to Keon over here and Janelle's over here, he sees her. He doesn't come up to. He'll be like, hey Janelle, give her a hug. How you doing? He'll talk to her. You know, he'll say his little shit. Like, Keenan, the bitch. Like we would just have our little tat bullshit.
Some people just like that.
That's just how it is. So I don't agree with like, you know, especially if we're in the same room. Like if you see, oh hey, how you doing? How you been? You cool?
Yeah.
Oh, of course.
And I think that may be what she is referring to. She's probably not like, I don't need us to be like buddy. But
Right.
it's like when we're in a shared space, it just feels like you're a little cold.
no,
to-
shared space for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah, and if that's where she's coming from, which I kind of feel like she might have been coming from more of that place than anything.
Okay, well, that's fair.
It's like that makes 100% sense.
Yeah,
like,
that's fair.
You come into
We
my
gotta be
husband. At the end
friends.
of the day, this is my husband's function.
Yeah.
You're coming here and you're kind of like seeing me and being like, hey, what's up, bitch? It's kind of like you're giving me that type of energy. Like, hey, whatever. I don't respect you, kind of sense.
Yeah.
And it's just like that's how. Even though you're not saying you don't respect this. You know, what
It's
I'm saying?
complicated because we are trying to function on a plane of like men and women are equal, though it's not like a real thing, but we are trying to present that.
Yeah.
So for a man to walk into a space and there's a woman there and he just kind of ignores her, it's just kind of like, she's like almost like a second, you know what I mean?
You can't ignore.
for
It's
sure.
definitely you greet
I can
both,
see
of
that, yeah.
whatever. But
And I did
yeah,
that
Because I know in
before,
some cultures, like in some Muslim cultures, like you can't even like speak to the women.
Yeah.
There's a lot of culture.
You know,
like that.
Yeah.
that bitch back here.
Yeah.
You don't
so-
even talk to her. Don't even talk to my wife.
Yeah, and so I mean I agree, and I've done that before. I've did with like Sydney's done before. I think I might have even done it. No, like I apologize now. I guess I think the Farron also because like the same thing. I was like, man, I don't want to like I feel like if I don't know you too well, it's like it's not just like, hey, how you doing? I don't necessarily go. I'm not really big.
Yeah.
And it's like maybe I know if I see her now, it's kind of like it's more because like the same thing. It's like I've met her more times.
Right,
I've seen
we
her a
hung
lot
out,
more.
that pandemic, I got to know. You know,
Yeah,
it's
but
different.
like, yeah, I've definitely done it before myself too. And I know sometimes even I think Janelle has mentioned, been like, hey, why is this person kind of acting like this? I'm just like, oh, maybe they just don't know, you know, they're not necessarily comfortable.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Right,
So
right.
I've had to explain at times too.
And also
Like
see
it.
the angle of like being a protector, because though it may not be like that person's not a threat, like I don't feel threatened, but you, in a sense, I come from like, nigga, be how y'all be.
Yeah.
But somebody who understands like human behavior is like, no, because you don't even want to crack open the door, open the
That's what I'm saying.
possibility
Like, I just rather.
of something being misinterpreted, or
Right.
later down the line, you might, you know, have motherfuckers are terming it micro cheating now, where
Right.
motherfuckers is opening up to motherfuckers they shouldn't be opening up to,
Right.
Yep.
and then that could create, you know, that now we connecting, and now
And then-
a couple
and
months
then
later,
it-
now we fucking. So
it
it's
goes,
like,
it goes back to what I said. I don't trust.
Yeah,
that
you don't
you're
trust
gonna-
any of that.
You're
Yeah.
gonna take that And like, what? I never even heard of fucking micro-treatment. I don't even get that.
Yeah.
But I know that others would.
It's
you know
about
what I'm saying?
opening up to people who you like of the opposite sex about your relationship.
But I do understand it because I remember she told me once she don't even open up to other women like that. 'Cause she was like, I don't ever want this bitch to have anything to use against me.
Right.
And I said, oh, that makes sense. So I can understand why if your man is talking to somebody, you know, you like, why are you telling her? You know,
right.
So I get it, but I don't. Even within that, I don't get that. Even if you said, "Oh shit, I didn't realize that, my bad," that you gonna let it go there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not. It's somebody gonna still. But no, I didn't. I feel away. You know, I'm like, nigga.
Do you feel that same energy when, let's say you got a friend that you know is a flirty friend, like a homeboy that you know always flirts with every girl, like he just every girl he talks to, he's a flirty. Would you be like, all right, like my nigga, I got to check this energy, or you be like, just let him be who he is?
I feel like he's my nigga. He knows not to do that with my, you know what I mean? Like,
I mean, some niggas don't even know how to turn it off.
Yeah.
There's some dudes that like, I'm not even flirting with your girl. Just like, nigga, you grab their hand like this.
I'm so like, I don't want to say confident, but I'm like, if you can take my bitch, take my bitch.
She was never
like,
my bitch.
I'm like, if you can take her, take her.
Yeah.
If she was never my, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm like, I don't feel threatened by other men and how they function like around like my partner or my person. I'm just like, if you can take her, take her.
The relationships matter.
Yeah.
Huh?
The relationships matter to me.
What do you mean?
I feel the taker with a nigga I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Nigga,
Yeah.
But like, cause then
if he's disrespecting you,
right. It's not about
taking
taking my bitch. It's the respect factor of like, nigga, you know. Like,
I understand that.
Stranger.
Because also too, and if you're that type of friend, like you say, if you're micro cheating, you might know some things to make my lady vulnerable, right? That can like you say that can probably, if she does cheat or whatever, or you're trying to come at my girl that way, it's like, oh, you could be using certain things again, you know,
right? And if you understand, women cheat emotionally, like traditionally,
and that's why I be telling my girl every nigga's business, so she know these niggas ain't shit. You know? I should do that, but I don't.
But I mean, from a micro cheating standpoint, because that's the interesting thing. It's like that happens a lot.
Yeah,
and it's like,
you know what's wild about it? No, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say that. I mean, it happens a lot, and so how do you navigate your friendships then?
I don't know. I'm not, and I think micro cheating is specifically towards the opposite sex. So if I'm if I'm friends with a girl and I'm disclosing like personal shit, private shit about my relationship to her, then that could be considered micro cheating because she can weaponize that information and flip me. I come fucking now because she's like, oh, your girl ain't doing this and that.
Right.
I'm simplifying it, but if she can say it, she can receive it as like, oh, your girl not doing this and that. I'll come in, I'll swoop in, I'm doing that. Yeah. Boom, boom, boom.
You know what's crazy? The fucked up part about it is, because I preach this all the time, I feel like the opposite sexes should talk to understand each other.
Exactly.
So the fucked up part is you're venting to a woman or a woman's venting to a man trying to get the man's perspective, but then your partner's taking it out like, why are you talking to this person? Well, because that's a dude. Maybe he can help me figure out why the fuck you do this or, so it's like, it's weird. But again, from a logical standpoint, it makes sense. But I don't trust that people are gonna micro cheating.
Should they have those conversations where you're in the room then? So if you're having these conversations about
So I'm a fan of that.
Yeah.
It's just I'm a big fan of that if the friends can keep it together.
Right.
Because like we've all been in settings.
Wait, what you mean?
Okay, so if you've ever like game nights, whatever, with couples, and somebody be like, all right, fellas. The other day, and then, becomes a battle of the sexes type thing. And I found, honestly, in group settings, a lot of times it's funny. And a lot of times you realize everybody's living the same lives. So it becomes a thing. And if the friends are cool, it can become very fun and eye-opening. And, you know what I mean? So I agree with, you can kind of
Somebody might feel blindsided, though.
And that's the other thing. Is if somebody might, after, they in the car, now why the fuck would you?
Yeah.
Oh, that's happened before. Yeah. I've literally got
telling my pussy dry. Why would you?
I've literally gotten not shirt grab for real, but I've gotten shirt grab energy before because I said some shit, being like, what do y'all think about? And she's just kind of like,
okay.
All right. She took it and she
because she's more quiet.
Yeah, she was more quiet. She responded respectfully there, and like I said, she could have went off. She didn't. She just she still responded respectfully. She kept my shit intact. When we got the car, she was just like I told you, like Janelle, she can go a place that
I'm like scared, nigga. I'm like
she can go a place where it's like
me a little bit.
So it was on some like the audacity. And I was just like, and she didn't even go all the way there. She still kind of kept it somewhat level. She's just like, respectfully, like don't do that.
Don't do that.
Yeah, not in front of your friends. It's like even if like they agree with you and you were right, and then it comes to the fact that I probably could have handled that better, the situation that you brought up. Right. But it's just like that's not for them to be involved in that. Right? So it's
what's funny is like like for us especially, we're so open.
Exactly.
As comics,
we're not that private.
It's like, what's the big deal?
Yeah.
Like, nigga, like, especially when you realize everybody's living the same lives, right? Everybody, like, I love Marcus and Angel sketches, like when they act like each other.
Yeah.
Because when you watch it, it's like, nigga, we're all going through the same. Every dude is sick of cleaning the goddamn car after his wife gets out the car. Water bottles, tissues, like, so it's like, it's funny. Like, it's like a thing. So that's one of those things, like, during the game night, when somebody come in, like they said, he come to the house with water bottles. She don't clean the car, does she? And then it starts a whole.
Yeah.
But most of the time, with the friends that I hang out with, most of the time those nights actually just end up super funny, super funny, super. And then yes, a conversation will be had and understanding will be had because you're getting the women's perspective, you're getting the guy's perspective. Sometimes you can see, especially if alcohol is involved, you see a couple like this is getting let's shift gears.
Yeah,
because it's getting, it's getting weird. But I'm a fan of the group settings. I feel like it's up to the couple to know what we're going to talk about in public, what we're not. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel like it's up to you to kind of read your partner to maybe stay out of this one,
right?
Or whatever.
Which I've done too. I've been like,
yeah. I'm a fan of the. I'm a fan
that
of
would
the group,
I mean, being a fucking a master manipulator, and if I knew I was dealing with a girl who couldn't handle that, I would like put it on one of my niggas who I know is like more open, like, hey, just touch on this. So and we just sit back and listen, and she just let her hear all this shit.
To be honest with you, so man, there was a podcast that I used to do. It's called What's the Hook? I do this podcast with a few buddies of mine, and I had one of the guys on there was literally he would bring up certain topics, and so it can like. We can talk about it just to be like, see, babe, see, to his wife.
Right.
And I remember one time his wife was on a podcast. Like the episode's probably still up too. You probably should watch the episode. His wife was on the podcast, and for me, I was like the reckless nigga on there. Right now, there's three of us. We can all have our reckless moments, but on there, I was the reckless. I guess what you would consider the Charlemagne of the show in a sense, right? From a character's perspective. And so he knew that. So when he brought his wife on, he would be like, "So Keenan."
Funny. Yeah,
so what do you think about? And he'll go and he'll know like I'm not even with his wife there. I respected his wife, but my opinion is to my opinion.
It's your opinion, right?
And I would go off the rails with my opinion, and I was watching her face. She was just like, whoo, whoo. But I was watching that nigga's face. He was like,
yeah, more.
Like, yes, nigga, thank you. And it's just like, so I've seen that dynamic where it's just like,
I just realized I get used a lot.
I mean,
to be the nigga to be like, go ahead.
Yeah.
Go off.
Because they know you will and you don't really care. And it's just like,
But you know what's the greatest part about it? The wives know that too.
Yeah.
So they're just kind of like, yeah, he going to give us some honest.
Or sometimes too, your partner, and it sucks that it gets to this point, but sometimes your partner, I don't want to say respects, but kind of will listen to somebody else's opinion.
Oh, totally.
More than yours.
Outside
That's just, but that's anybody. That's siblings. That's parents. Anybody you're close to, you can't hear
Right.
them a lot of times.
They get defensive when you're saying it. It's like, oh, you're coming for me. But it's like, no, it's just when you guys see the it's like, all right, I didn't look at it from that way.
Yeah.
And then you do it over there like, nigga, I told you
Right.
Yeah.
30 times this way. And you're just like.
Another passive move is I would recommend like watch like comedy specials. Nigga, it'd be so many like little gems, little nuggets in there. But like, yo, watch this special. Timestamp 13 minutes 57 seconds in. Watch it from there. It's real good. It's funny. It's real funny.
So have you watched it and been like, all right, when the part coming out, you feel like,
Yep.
yeah,
So
this is about to be. You know, it's funny. Actually,
That helps though.
yeah.
It does. Because, I mean, I'll be real with you. We watched Little Rel and Deion Cole special.
Look at that.
Both of the specials are really fucking
The
good.
relationship part was so funny.
Man. And a lot of times with Janelle and I try not to watch as many specials as much anymore because sometimes I watch something I'm like, damn, we're talking about the similar content and now I feel kind of weird. But like sometimes like I think it might have been, I forgot if it was Deion or Lil Rel. They brought up some relationship stuff or whatever. And there's some stuff I've been talking to her about already. And so now, he brings it up when we're having a discussion about it. We'll pause and have like a 15-minute discussion about, a moment in time about like why you should be doing this or why you don't do this over here. And I mean, luckily we're at the point now we both enjoy it. Actually, it's like we enjoy kind of stopping and like, let's have this discussion about this.
Right.
But shout out to them too. Their specials, both of their specials are fucking.
Yeah, I didn't see
funny.
Dion's yet, but Rails was funny.
Rails is funny.
Yeah. I noticed Cotty will, she ghost follows me, so a lot of our conversations will be stemmed from a bit that I'll drop. So like my comedy, which comes from a real place, she'll be like, "You made a good point."
Yeah.
I'll be, the same point I told you in real life. I didn't say it to strangers on stage.
After they laughed, it was
yeah,
like,
yeah, you know what I mean? Like that had to hit. But I think even, being in these circles and stuff, she's starting to realize, watching more comedy, she's realizing, a lot of us are living the same lives. Like a lot of us are going through the same shit, and it's just like, how are you handling it? This and that. So yeah, comedy specials, guys, they help your relationship.
Yeah,
they topic starters and
conversation starters.
Conversation starters. You know what I mean? Because we just,
unless your partner's that fucking like blind and deaf to even like recognize the real
right.
in the art.
Well, I know this is kind of just a changing subject, man. Why you dressed the way you dress, Gary?
Oh man, you know me, man.
Why you got on
shit.
Not even a suit and tie, nigga. You got a top and tie.
Hey
on.
man, we on this Zoom. They don't need to know what's on the bottom. Nobody needs to know.
Nigga Gary got on cut off jorts.
Hey man,
with the business.
All praise be to Allah, bro. You know,
right? Why are you like this right now?
No, for real?
Yeah.
I converted to Islam.
Don't play with them boys over there, man.
Nah, I'm not. I'm just joking. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
I feel like you have to say that every joke, every episode, Gary has to be like, I'm kidding.
I'm kidding, dude. Yeah, I'm kidding, guys.
No, actually, you don't, because for the regular listeners, in our YouTube comments, it's fine.
They know our personalities at this point.
It's
they know
fine.
When Gary.
It is the clips on IG that have people losing their goddamn
which is great.
minds.
Yeah,
That's the point.
Which shows you that we're achieving what we set out to do.
Yeah.
Because we wanted to have a dialogue sort of in a whatever safe space.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like that's that's kind of shoot the shit like niggas do when women aren't around traditionally. So if it is inflammatory from a bit sound clip sense, that makes sense. It's supposed to be.
And at the end of the day, too, some of those short clips have gotten people to watch the whole episode, which is what we want. The point is to funnel people to watch the grand scheme of things. Because some people did come and watch. I guess the clip we're talking about was when Gary pretty much said, when it comes to black love, it's only if it's a dark skinned woman, right? And I cut up a small clip. I didn't think it was going to get the reaction that it got, but I know. They hit me on the side like, hey, this nigga Keenan set up Gary. I was just like, nigga, I just...
Yeah.
I was like, it was a great...
It was the caption.
Yeah.
It wasn't the clip. The caption...
It's just black love or whatever.
Hashtag black love, yeah.
It's just hashtag black love or whatever.
What did it say, though? What did the caption say?
It said, is this black love or something like that?
Yeah, it didn't say, but
that's all it said. Nigga, you TMZ'd me, nigga. You TMZ'd me.
Because it came off as like... It came off as like... It doesn't count unless it's this. Not giving the whole content. There was no question behind it.
No,
it was just like this nigga said this.
Well, this is what I've been learning too, even from a caption or like perspective of like posting things online, right? And it sucks, but it's like you gotta kind of trigger people to get them to watch a little bit, right? But also, because I was talking to my lady about this too. I was like, what would be, not for this particular caption, but I had another caption from another video. I said, what would be better if I say it as a statement or as I say it as a question?
Statement.
And she was like, say it as a statement.
Yeah.
As a question, people like, oh, okay, whatever, I scroll past it. When you say like, oh, this is what it is, oh, I gotta see what this bullshit talking about. Right. It makes people triggered or a little whatever the case may be, and they go in there and watch it.
Makes you feel something.
Makes you feel, for sure.
Which is dope, but where does the ordinary person go after that? Like some people get triggered by something. Like you can't watch a clip, see a nigga mid rant, and then just be like, okay, cool, I'm done with that. Yeah. I hate this, I'm done with it.
Right.
Things get to that point.
Right.
Like for somebody like me, I'm like naturally curious. I'm like, if I see something and I'm triggered by it, I'm like, okay, I need to see the full thing because I want to see how did it get to this point.
Logical.
That is logic,
Right.
but it's not a
And going back to the start,
I want to know how it got there and where does it go after that.
Right, but most people are just gonna fly off on their emotion.
Yeah.
And that's that.
And they want to, and we talked about it in the cars. Like people want to, like I forgot what we said, but it was like, do people actually feel this way, or do they want to feel whatever the case may be? It's like I think some people want to be angry. Some people are living in a space where it's just like, and this goes I guess even deeper, where it's like depression is at an all-time high. But I think some people are the reason for their own depression. It's just like you're going and you're trying to watch negative shit all the time, and then not watch either the full context of something. You watch something small, like you said, somebody's mid-rant. Yeah. Clearly, it started somewhere. It didn't start from here, right? This wasn't a starting point. We came in hot.
It's fucked up, man.
There.
It's fucked up because there's just so much nuance even within the character.
Right.
Because even my whole what I try to present even to the show is that we have our way of thinking, which may be different, but then there's also outside perspectives that I try, and those people aren't here. Right. I try to bring those perspectives into the space and dissect that as well.
That's what we do in comedy.
Yeah, that's what we do in comedy.
We're trying to see like, all right, well, this is that, but it could be this.
That angle. Yeah.
I mean, the best bits are when you're coming from like 3 to 4 different, like multiple different angles. You're not seeing it just from your way. You're seeing like, well, maybe it could be this, or it could be this.
Right.
Or that person saw it this way. And you know what I'm saying? And that's where.
But it's just dope how much of that is just lost, the nuance and the subtlety of it, in a fucking tiny clip.
Yeah.
And for somebody to for someone to have. To form an opinion,
full-on
opinion,
hard,
and to draw a conclusion on this is like, okay, I'm like, but I think people just want to. I think people just like searching for a community, and just validation.
Yeah.
So if I post something here, like, and my comment is this, I need people to back that, and this, to second that.
My thing too be like, okay, so you did. Let's say that your initial reaction is that. That's fine. What bugs me is people will do that and they be like, and if we come back with, did you watch the whole thing? No, I don't need to watch it. Yes, the fuck you do. If you're gonna act like that, then yes, you do. You need to watch the whole thing.
Exactly. If you're going to stand on, this is your real statement.
Right.
This is what it really is, and this person is really that to you, and you're calling that out publicly.
Right.
You need to be like, all right, did you watch the whole thing? Because now, let's say you got brought onto a conversation with somebody, anybody else, like for a panel, and we're like, well, did you see the whole thing? Did you research the whole thing? Well, no, I just saw that small piece. It's like, then what are you talking about?
You have no leg to stand on.
Yeah, it's like,
and you actually look like an idiot.
You look very dumb. And it's like, I know Gary got called many different things on that clip.
Right.
And it was just like, to me, what was funny was that, I don't want to necessarily say funny. I think maybe because I am feeling different because I did already know what he was talking about. But I still feel like in seeing that clip, how are y'all sitting here saying that what he's saying is not the truth to some people?
Right.
Like, there's a lot of people out there that really feel like if they're seeing just two light-skinned couples or two light-skinned people in a relationship, and they're both maybe even like, look like they're racially ambiguous or like half black, half white, or whatever the case may be, you're not gonna look at that as real dark, like real strong hashtag.
Yeah, I was just thinking.
What's funny is, he said that if they would have watched the whole thing.
Yeah.
He said, I'm talking about the hashtag.
I'm talking about the hashtag. I'm talking about
for all black.
I'm talking about the magazine cover.
Right.
I'm talking about the Jet magazine cover
of
Black Love.
Which he clarified.
The motherfuckers are like, nah, we don't need this.
No, and it's like,
this is all the information I need. Yeah. Send in the test. Right. Where's the exam?
Well, right now, I think what's happening too is that there is, I don't want to necessarily call it a war for real, but there is a battle between, especially online and podcasts, between black men and black women about like everything that as soon as a black man is saying anything about a black woman, it's automatic trigger. They didn't even got to hear the whole thing. This dude hates black women, and then vice versa. This woman hates black dudes. XYZ. She's bad, and now there's a battle. And then it didn't help when like people started to click on Gary's profile and they were like, oh yeah, over this dude.
I thought that it would make that stance and that position even more objective. Because it doesn't serve me.
Right.
It doesn't serve to my benefit. I don't get a win off this.
What's funny is like,
I was like, I don't get a win. I'm not lifting myself up. Nigga, I don't get shit.
So yeah, it didn't make any sense. But again, people are emotional, and then they're just gonna. So I blow people off like that though when they say I don't need to see anymore. But then I don't care what you have to say.
Your opinion doesn't matter. Yeah.
Now, even if you're talking about like my friend or whatever, because like this, you was crazy. Dog, that clip sparked so much. Niggas called me.
Oh, I got text.
I got
You got text? Niggas is getting text messages?
I got text messages.
Wow.
Niggas called my phone.
That's great.
Like, not just multiple people called my phone.
But I said
like,
the same
yo.
thing. Watch the whole thing.
And I'm just like, yo. But luckily, some of the people that called me, they called me and were just like, yo, I know you are. I don't know this person. I know you're a smart nigga, and I feel like you wouldn't associate yourself with niggas that are dumb.
Right.
And I was just like, we talking about right now. What's going on? And he's just like, and they expressed themselves. I was just like, did you watch the whole thing? They're like, nah. I was like, and I said the same thing you said. I was like, it's kind of hard to form your opinion about this particular person if you didn't watch the whole thing and what they said. But what they're saying is this, and then I started to talk about this with certain situations, and they were just like, oh shit, yeah, I can. There's people that there. I know black people and black men and women that feel that same way he just said. And I was like, you see what I'm saying? It's like he's not saying it for like him in a sense, like, yo, I feel this way about all.
But what's crazy is none of that matters because you watch the whole thing. You would say, I'm talking about hashtag black. In general, the nigga literally said, in general, oh no, all black love is beautiful. I'm talking about hashtag.
We got into all that.
The nigga, we did all of that.
We got into the all love is beautiful.
We broke it all
we got into the whole
way
shit
down.
Yeah.
But they don't want to watch it, so I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Like I don't give a fuck if you're mad about it. And now, and that being said, some of the people that hit me up, they're like, I know y'all don't give a fuck. I was like, well then, nigga, what you texting me for?
Yeah. I guess my thing is just too, like you said, it's like, it's not about even not giving a fuck. It's like y'all didn't watch the thing, so you don't understand the context. You just like you're in an emotional trigger state right now, which is like.
But to me,
you don't
it's
understand the
just
context
weird to
or the concept of the show.
Right.
Exactly.
And which I
It's
said,
like
I said in the text too. But to me, it's just weird to have that strong of an opinion about a stranger from 60 seconds. That's just weird to me.
It was like 30 seconds, but yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So even less. It was
Right.
Even
That's
less,
kind of
yeah.
like that's
niggas
hella
wilding out.
weird
Yeah.
to like form that strong of an opinion of somebody that you don't know. That's just weird.
You're saying it's weird, but that's literally been the norm for like the past.
That's the
like,
norm,
5
dog.
Right.
years.
That's the
That's
norm.
fucking weird.
It's hard to say it's even weird. It's the norm now. It's like
Yeah.
and that's not even this. I mean, I've done it before. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna sit there and put everything on them. I've formed an opinion too quick. I don't do it as much now. I'm better now. But like before, I've been like, I've immediately might have snapped or I've been triggered. Like I'll be a liar if I say I was never triggered by some shit and probably reacted quicker than I should have.
Yeah.
You know what it is? I'll just say what it is. Honestly, it wasn't. Even, it was. I was like, nigga, it's other comedians doing this. Like that was
That's
my
what.
shit.
Yes. Yeah.
The strangers, you know what? Fine.
Yeah.
For everybody else, I'm like, this is fucking ridiculous.
Yeah. You're in a.
And I've seen y'all say wild shit.
Right.
Yeah, you were in a perspective in a realm that you operate where you don't want to. Because I said this plenty of times online and tweets when, especially years ago when the cancel shit first started. I was just like, yo, how are you demanding somebody to be canceled, but when people come for you about your bit, you don't want to be canceled? You want to like, no, you don't see it as a joke. It's just a joke. It's just like, how can you understand something from when it's your shit, but when it's somebody else's shit, you can't even like comprehend how somebody could say something like this.
Yeah.
And it's just like, yo, like you said, I've heard these particular comedians say way more wild shit.
Right.
And it's just like, for you to fix your face, to even have, to not even ask a question.
Didn't ask a question. Just came in hot. For somebody too, nigga, you think we're not gonna run into? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That'd be my thing too. For that kind of energy towards somebody you don't know that you're possibly gonna run into too, is just wild to me.
Yeah, and especially if you have no context, because it's like now you ruin a possible relationship, or just somebody that's being cool. You have this negative energy towards the person, just like, nigga, you didn't even understand what I was saying.
Yeah.
It's just like, now, oh, my bad. You right. You was actually, I didn't even know.
No, that's the thing too. That's the thing that bugs me most. There's not going to be a my bad. That's why they don't watch full clip, because then they'll have to say my bad. That's why people avoid the shit.
Yeah.
When you hit somebody with, did you watch the whole thing? Nah, and I ain't gonna watch it, because they know if they watch the whole thing,
They gotta be
they're
accountable.
probably gonna be like, ah, shit,
Yeah.
I fucked up.
Which is hilarious.
And no one's gonna do that.
Because of the three of us, I'm the most simplest nigga here. if you had niggas be coming for me mostly in the YouTube comments. Oh, that nigga, he protecting these videos, like, or what have you. I get all the zesties, I get all that shit.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, which I thought about. I was actually thinking about that. Like, why? And I think I try to maybe over-articulate in it, like when I'm trying to like when I'm talking and shit, cause I am like it in the heart, in my core, like I'm a hood nigga.
Yeah.
And I'm an athlete.
Yeah.
You know, so naturally I'm like an aggressive creature.
Yeah.
So if I get into something, if I get into talking about something, it'll get nigga, I'll get passionate.
Yeah.
And I'll get loud as fuck.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I think a way to kind of like ground that,
soft as possible.
be a little softer and be articulate. If I
Right.
articulate more, then I'm gonna slow down a little bit.
Right.
Because otherwise, I'm just like nigga, cause blah, blah, you know, cause I got like that's in me.
Right.
So it's me trying to like curb that in a
Right,
sense to
right,
where it's not like overly aggressive.
I think that might be part of it, but I also think that another part of it could be is that,
That I'm just gay.
yeah.
All right, it could be that too. It could be. It could you could just like dick.
This nigga Gary trying to get to the jokes before you can get to it now. He's like, you think they want to set me up no more? Then you think have got me on some good hooks? I refuse. But that wasn't what I was going to say. Actually, I was going to actually say, I think what happens is like right now, if you're speaking on women aggressively, or if you're speaking on women in a negative way, sometimes the go-to is to question your manhood. Like if you say something negative about a woman, it's like, oh, if you say something negative about a woman, you must be a gay nigga because you hate women. And it's just like, in all honesty,
Gay niggas hate women. They just don't.
Exactly.
Is that a
That
thing?
wouldn't even make any sense, right?
that don't make
It
sense.
would be, in all honesty, gay men love women,
Right.
probably more than anybody, right? And so it's like that wouldn't make any sense to call you that, but that is normally the go-to because one, they know you are straight, and they feel like that would be a insult to you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Calling you that.
And honestly, none of it like really affects me. Like I'll think about it for a minute. I'll digest it for a minute. And be like, no, that's baseless.
Right.
That has no.
Oh, yeah, you're gonna reflect, and then be like, nah, that don't count.
No, that's not it.
Yeah.
You know, because it should be easy. Like the name calling shit, all that should
Yeah.
be easy. Nothing like really
Substantial
like
hits.
yeah.
Yeah.
Unless you go into like something real, but it just be
Right.
like.
It'd be goofy shit.
Yeah, it just be silly to me. But then also there's an element of, to me, I'm like, this whole thing is corny and clown shit in ways. Like this is not like, nigga, we're not. What are we doing? We're not fucking physicists or doing any like real like important work. You know, we do sketches and shit. We make fun. Like, and I was talking to somebody. I was like, nigga, if you think about it, and I love stand up. I love stand up. I love comedy. I love humor. I love laughing. But laughing is kind of corny. Like comedy is kind of anything in terms of like stand up and jokes and shit. Anytime a nigga can be like, yo, I ain't got time for your little, the shit's kind of corny.
I mean, I wouldn't call it corny.
That's a natural thing we do. Everybody laugh. Babies come out the womb.
Yeah,
laughing, man.
I mean,
But I'm just like-
laughing is a universal language. Laughing and I guess crying are two.
Anytime a nigga can dismiss what you do, like anytime a nigga like, oh, hey, I don't play like that. Like it's inherently kind of.
Would that be?
But I think that's corny.
Yeah, but I say that would be that's corny. To
I
me.
think that's corny for you to be so wound up that you can enjoy a fucking smile.
Yeah.
That nigga, get some help.
This
like
nigga over here
okay.
laughing. You laughing?
you're doing
It's
something.
weird.
You're doing
Yeah.
a natural emotion.
Yeah.
Nigga, like,
Hey, yeah, I guess
to me,
there's
that's
something there
for
too.
you to put on
So
a
serious?
character. Because that's not. No one does that naturally.
Nobody's
we all
that serious
We
all
all
the time?
naturally cry. We all naturally laugh.
Okay.
We all naturally get. So for you to be this way all the time, that is a character that you had. Whether it's
That
to
you built
survive,
up?
Trying to be this
whether
way.
it's to
The nigga who
survive
ain't
or
got
whatever.
time for your little
Yeah.
funnies.
Yeah.
Hey, get up
Meanwhile-
out of here with your little funnies.
Matter of fact, because I watched that documentary on cocaine on Netflix, and a lot of the niggas was talking about how like
were they
like,
laughing at all?
you get to a point where you can only laugh at home. Nigga, you can't be seeing it because then that's a sign of weakness. And I was like, nigga, this is sad.
Yeah.
Like to where you sitting there, funny shit going on around you all day, and you got to wait to go home to laugh by
Yeah.
yourself.
I
think it's
Nigga, that's
set up.
pathetic,
Nigga,
bro.
nigga-
I just like
nigga make you laugh.
I like the visual of that though. Just like yeah, nigga.
You take off
you get
his
home like
coat, nigga.
you just take off like
They probably kicking their feet. Like, nigga.
oh, that's funny.
That was the sad. I was
I like
bro,
that, though.
that's
But imagine a nigga
bad.
just
So we
laughing,
flip it. Y'all corny.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's how I look at a lot of stuff too. Is before you point the finger at immediately calling somebody corny for doing essentially sometimes nothing or do something that's natural, it's just like, who's really the corny person in this?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's how I kind of look at it too.
I like that.
But it's like, I guess going back to what you're saying about laughing, it's just like, I can understand from a certain point, if you're a certain type of person, it can be used as a weakness. You can be used to set up, hey, make this nigga laugh. And then we come up on him, sneak him up, and steal, kill him, whatever the case may be. But it is something funny visually about just knowing that type of person and how they're probably laughing internally right now. This nigga Gary hilarious at the show, and then internally he's just dying laughing. He's like, "Oh, this nigga's the greatest." We're just like,
Yeah.
I can't give it to him. It's just
Like I've had hood niggas sit in the front fucking row.
Yeah.
Girl having a great time, nigga gives you nothing. After the show, hey my nigga, that was hilarious.
But
Yeah.
also-
Didn't laugh the entire fucking
From his
time.
standpoint too, it might be a thing from like if you're making, especially you're making this girl ball laughing, like just slapping her leg. It's kind of just like my girl ain't even laughing that hard with me. That could make somebody.
Some
feel
people are
some
like
way.
that, but I understand the hood nigga. Like I get it. You can't show anything because everybody's always watching, so you can't show anything. So I get it. But I was like,
Laughter though?
they can't do
You're not
shit.
crying.
They
Yeah.
can't do shit.
You can't.
And I was like,
you
that
can
sucks.
even. You can laugh. You can laugh masculine.
Nah,
Nah,
that's goofy, nigga. They can't.
Is that goofy?
That's
The
goofy.
Or
Yeah.
maybe just the.
I mean, not even.
This all the niggas do is all they do is nigga.
He
That's all they got.
Maybe they know their
Nigga.
laugh is trash.
Oh,
could be.
So what if
That's it.
Yeah, if they got a
could
bad
be.
laugh, and
That's it.
And a nigga that's the hard treats is a hard nigga, he go,
Yeah.
and it's like a high pitch, and like, oh, that nigga a weirdo.
Yeah.
He could be his whole persona can go completely the wrong way.
My whole thing is like to have to think about all that. It's just ridiculous.
We
It's
just poking
ridiculous.
holes now.
Yeah.
Yeah, but just to have to think about that is ridiculous. I just want to live.
Just laugh.
I just
Yeah.
want to live my damn life. I don't want to have to think so much.
Yeah.
Like
Just laugh.
it's so
I'm with it.
just
Yeah.
exist.
All right.
Yeah, nigga, like that's
Like an orgasm.
that's how I feel about everything.
You know, men get made fun of for the way that they sound when they come too.
Oh yeah.
There's a conversation there as well.
I mean, I laugh at myself. I'm ridiculous.
You know,
Yeah.
one time,
ridiculous.
Janelle was just like, she's like, after we were finished, we were just like kind of chilling. She's like, nigga, you went full anime character. Like, you
Oh,
went
shit.
Full power up. Like,
What'd you
went
do?
full- I didn't know I went that aggressive and loud. But I guess I was like, I guess
Oh,
I
shit.
did that. And I was
Yeah.
just like, I thought I just went, But she was just like, you went full fucking Goku Super Saiyan 2, nigga. Like,
It's funny. Man,
and
you like that.
I had nothing, I could only laugh. But I was just like, shit, like, I guess so. I didn't know I was that nigga. I guess.
You had said something earlier, man. I wanted to touch on it. When you were talking about
Who said it?
Gary, he was talking about. It was right before the laughing thing. Right before. What was you talking about?
We were talking about shit. I don't know.
I don't even remember because you were talking about. Oh. You're saying what we do. All this is dumb, right? All this silly, blah blah. And I agree with that to a point. And I had to take a step back. And what he said today really hit for me. It is dumb, but at the end of the day, somebody's always watching.
Right. Yeah.
So it is.
And somebody
silly.
needs it.
Somebody needs somebody. You know, I take for granted a lot of times of my upbringings, like the grandparent shit you brought up. Like, just when people say stuff to me, it makes me take time, sit back, reflect, and I'm like, bro, what I deem is a normal, happy, functioning family, that ain't how everybody grew up. So somebody, I've had especially young men, I've had young men
Bro.
DM me, comment, hey, bro, I look up to how you handle your fatherhood, how you handle your. I look up, and I'm like. I want to say, nigga, where your
Bro,
daddy?
But hold on, bro. But that is like major fucking props to your parents for the presentation, the optics,
Right.
because the shit that they were dealing with
Right.
amidst what they were trying, the type of childhood that they wanted to give y'all came at such a fucking sacrifice
Right.
for them. And their own happiness, you know what I
Right.
mean?
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
that's like, damn. I don't know if I have that in me to like sacrifice my own happiness for my child to give them like the childhood that I feel like they should have. Right. That's and so many people do it.
Oh.
Yeah.
So many people do it. Thank God we're at a place in society where we are actually doing the work in the inner workings of our relationships
Yeah, now
to
we're
make sure
doing
that
it.
we're happy.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, because it is. But yeah, I thought about that. Like somebody is always watching, and when those dudes hit me, I was like, "See you later." I was like, "Fuck," Even though I don't want that, I think it just is. I think it just is what it is. Like I got to get to a point where I have to accept you're a public figure.
Privileged.
Well, no, you're a public figure.
Oh,
like, people are just gonna they're just gonna fucking watch. Like,
Well, yeah,
like when the athletes are like, I'm not a role model, nigga. You didn't sign up for it, but you are.
Yeah,
You know, the
So
rappers.
what's the responsibility?
I'm doing it for my kid, my real life, my kids and
Yeah.
stuff. But I guess at the end of the day, I have to accept people are watching, you know, and that might mean something to somebody. Like, I can't just blow off everything, I guess. Or, nigga, this is my life. Like, what y'all give a fuck?
Or you gotta the stuff that you do. You gotta keep certain things private. It's like certain
Yeah.
artists now. Like when you watch the Coles and the Kendricks, like you don't know what their life's going on. Kendrick had 2 kids, and we were just like, oh, he got 2 kids now. It was just like, you know, you can keep stuff private that you want private, and then the public stuff that you want public.
I think that I think it depends on the art form. I think athletes shouldn't be like
They just
on a
play a
pedestal.
sport. No,
I don't
they
think
just
they
play a
should be on a
sport.
pedestal
Right.
the way that they are.
Right.
I don't think they should have to endure the pressure of being like role models. I think people should just parent better.
Right.
You know.
Facts.
And you should look at them as just athletes. Like
They're just
this is just a,
I think
damn.
everybody should be looked at as just
What they
What
are.
they are.
But
In terms of entertainment.
in sports,
Yeah, it's like you're
entertaining me.
but you're a human outside of that.
But I guess, you know, like I said, you just don't know what anybody's
Damn.
shit is.
But see, that's fuck. Because then now you run into the conversation in a way we just subtly said, shut up and dribble.
No.
If we're not looking at if they're not role models, then we're silencing their voice.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? We're silencing them. We're basically just says, shut up and dribble.
I just feel like when it comes to, you know, it's an interesting dynamic because on one hand I'm like, yeah, everybody's human. It's all trial and error, whatever. On the other hand, there's a lot of empty, missing people. It's like I'm looking at something. I'm looking at somebody.
true.
I need. So back on this person, it's like, well, then I gotta act a certain way because this dude is looking at me like, you know.
This
He
kid ain't
failed.
got
That's
no
why,
daddy.
like, even though I think it's ridiculous when adults would be like when Will Smith did with it, people like, Will let me down. I'm like, why the fuck are you looking at Will as your? But I don't know everybody.
Right, situation.
I don't
That's
know,
true.
You know.
That's true.
Celebrities, like we said it before on here, I think before, celebrities are demigods to a lot of people. They're the closest thing to, like, maybe a god to like seeing actual God. Like somebody like Beyonce, right? Beyonce to a lot of people, they might not want to call Beyonce God. And some people do call Beyonce God for sure. But it's
I
like
call her a goddess.
Yeah.
But I call
she's black, Harry. You don't call her. You call Taylor Swift a goddess.
Okay. Oh, okay. All right.
No, but all jokes aside, it's like, but somebody like Beyonce, right? They might look at her and be like, "Yo, she's perfect in every single way," and she's not probably even close to perfect.
No.
But like, what she presents is, you know what I'm saying? How her team
But
presents, how her
then-
team puts her out there, everything.
But I'm looking at it now from her perspective. It's like she probably don't even want to do all that shit. But because she knows
Yeah.
that so many people are,
She has
are
a responsibility.
watching,
She knows
I
that.
have to do this
Yeah.
because it's little girls looking at me, and
For
it's
sure.
and it's like, and it fucking sucks
For sure.
because it's like I'm just living. But then on another, I don't know how many hands we still got left.
Hey, bro,
nigga.
we fucking-
But on
If
the
you
other
look
hand,
at it
I
from-
feel like I look at somebody like Toby. How you say his last name?
Yeah. We know.
When I look at Toby,
yeah.
Toby's just being Toby, and if people gravitate to that, like when I feel like me, I don't feel pressure because I'm just being me.
Right.
And if me is good enough, then
Then-
great,
yeah.
fantastic. Like
I always purpose it with this. Like I always try to say something when people, especially when they give me compliments about something, whether it's my relationship, whether it's just me being a person or fun, whatever. Hey, I'm not perfect. Trust me, I'm not. Don't like. It's cool that you thank me or think that that's cool, but understand that, nigga, I am going to make. I've made mistakes, and I'm going to continue to make mistakes. Probably less in the future, but don't put me on this pedestal to where you think I'm way up here. It's like, nah, nigga, like I am human still. I always want to remind people that, like, nigga, I am a human. Scratch all the, because even becoming a celebrity now is even kind of weird to me. But I know it's coming because it's what we do. But it's like I always go like, nah. At the end of the day, I'm still a person, bro. Like I'm probably gonna tweet something in the next 2 years that might be the wrong shit.
I might tweet
and
something
honestly-
today.
honestly-
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's just like it's like
But
But
being
specifically,
authentic.
Keenan, like
Yeah.
I don't think you got to worry about that. I don't think people are seeing you like
what as what?
as this martyr of an individual. I don't think anybody's questioning that you have a lot of holes.
Like after I showed my emotion and made it real on the podcast, these niggas just laughed at me.
The visual is funny, bro.
Oh,
But
shit.
that's what I'm saying. I think for me, that's why I try to present that stuff too. It's like I try to present the authenticity of how I feel about certain things in my, and I know it's.
But you should.
Yeah, your
Yeah.
feelings, but it's just like that's at the end of the day. It's like we have emotion and then we have logic, and it's just like there's sometimes it's like, yo, I'm going to give you my feelings on certain things, and it's just like, yo, I don't want you to I don't want you to take what I just say. Like like I said, I've seen certain podcasts, and some certain podcasts people are watching, and they're like, yo, their word is everything. So when their fan base be like, nah, what they're saying is 100% factual. Instead of taking like, all right, let me take a piece of this and be like, I can apply a piece of this, and that might work.
People aren't taking enough pieces.
No.
The
want the whole
anything
thing.
as a whole.
Yeah.
It's too
It
much.
ain't. It's not. It
Like,
ain't gonna work.
Nobody should ever take me as a
Yeah.
whole.
At
Nigga.
all.
There's pieces.
Absolutely
There's
not.
pieces.
Do not take me as a whole, because you will be one way, and you'll be weird. You'll be fucking
Yeah.
wholehearted.
You'll be a cyborg,
yeah,
nigga.
like,
Yeah.
nigga, you don't want.
Your ho-
Feelings. What are feelings? I don't
Don't cry in
want
front of me because I'm just gonna walk away. Don't
yeah,
talk to me
yeah,
about
no.
the death
Yeah,
of
when I-
someone
Shit,
close
you
to
handle
you.
some-
I'm going to
take some
continue to
stuff,
feed
but-
my kids Costco samples where you're crying in the vacuum aisle, nigga.
Hey, but that only hold on. That only happened once, right?
So we're at an hour. We're
That
an hour
was
and
weird.
5 in. We're an hour and 5 in, man. So where y'all at this weekend, man? So this weekend,
Oh shit!
Man,
That's
yo.
so funny.
this weekend.
Wait, no, wait.
Wow.
Before we go though, I did want to say to what you were just saying as far as being authentic and imperfections.
Yeah.
For some people, because I've been told this, that's even more why they like us, because you're not perfect.
Yeah.
Because I said this when we did. I don't know if I've said it on here before, but when we did Kev and Melissa's Love Hour, and I said that specifically in the thing, like no relationship goals, no we're flawed, blah blah blah. There were people in the comments like, that's why we watch you, because you're flawed, because we like, well, they fucked up but came back from this, or they did this wrong, was able to apologize, get through this, whatever. That's why we fuck with you, because you're authentic.
Yeah.
So even when you're downs, you're ups. Well, cool. It's like, okay, this guy has downs and ups, and this
Yeah.
guy, that's the point where I think the pressure of being perfect is overrated. I feel like if you do that, then when you do mess up, it's such a big deal.
It's just a
Yeah.
hard fall, too.
It's such a hard
That's why
fall.
people fall from
Well,
grace
just
so
fuck
hard.
up. Just be you.
Yeah.
And if you fuck up, you fuck up.
It's why
like
when these celebrities take these quote unquote perfect routes to the top.
LeBron.
Yeah, it's just like the downfall is normally this massive,
Right.
crazy downfall, and they're spiraling, and people have killed themselves, and people have gone into a massive depression because it's like that's why I feel like for us, our rise to the top, we have made mistakes, we have said some wild things, and we also like, hey man, I've said some wild shit, nigga. Like it's there. It's like,
But
I'm not
it's
taking
cool
it
that
back.
we even like the premise of it is to say kind of wild shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the dopest part of it, especially if you've had day ones, is for them to see your growth.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so we did. Me and Tony been doing Daddy Issues for years now, and people was like, "Man, I've watched your takes from the first episode to the last. It's completely different.
Yeah.
Or how you go about things is completely like so. I'm all for the journey of things. I'm all for the
Yeah.
The journey
all
is the
that
best
shit.
part to me.
The ups and
I'm all
downs,
for
yeah.
that shit. So I'm not really. I used to shy away from it because of the like I said, the pressure of being perfect. But now I'm kind of like, hey nigga, come get this mess.
Yeah.
Like come get the
Yeah.
fucking shit show. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. Some things gonna be great. Sometimes it's gonna be the perfect family. Some days you're gonna see be like, this nigga looks like he wants to kill them all. And I do feel like that at that particular time. I'm like, I'm just sick of everybody. You know, but it is what it is. On that note, if anybody wants to go to Costco with me, I've been known to.
He and his family.
I've been known.
But it was funny. We were in Costco the other day. That's what happened too. I was like, we were in Costco.
Did you cry then too?
I got watery eye.
All right.
You and Janelle were in Costco?
So now
Yeah.
Costco is just a
'Cause-
trigger for you now.
Well, because she has a Sam's Club thing. I was just like, I
Ooh,
don't
they
like
got the
Sam's
best.
Club.
They got the best of both worlds.
Yeah, so I got the Costco membership, and then I think the first time I ever told her this, because I told her this before, when I remember, I think I told her this before, but I was like, I kind of like, I had this vision of like, when I saw that, I was just like, it's just like, I think that's a cool family vision in a sense, where it's like, us being in here, we don't have any little ones yet, but it's just like it's cool to be shopping as a family, being in a space as a family, and that's why I say I can see what she's talking about, like when I said the whole running errands thing. Running errands is annoying, but when you're with somebody that you love,
Right,
and I'm sure
yeah.
if you have your whole family, it's kind of like.
And you can kind of go out and see the world together and comment and people
Yeah.
watch and talk shit. Yeah, it's fun.
I
It's
understood
fun.
what you were saying though, but
Yeah.
sometimes I like, you know, if I have to do something, you want to come to the store with me, or she'd be like, I want to ride with you or whatever. Like I get it.
Yeah.
And the family thing, and like I said, it's just so normal for me. Like I mean, you come to my house for the holidays. Oh, y'all can come this year if you want to.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, it's like I grew up in a very family or like it's just family. Man.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
family,
yeah.
Like when I see people, I actually feel so bad for them when I see people online and be like, you know, blood ain't always taking the water, you know, all that shit. You know, I probably fucked that saying up. But when I see sometimes your family is your worst, I be like, man, that's sad. Like I don't feel like that.
Yeah.
I don't feel like my family is my worst or them be the coldest people. I don't.
It happens.
I know it's a thing. I know it's a thing.
I've experienced that.
I know it's a thing, but for me, I'm like, no, family's where I go.
I think a lot of
feel
it has to do
safe.
with. I think a lot of it has to do with. I would say poverty. I'm
No,
sure
because
it's across the board. I'm sure it's across the board.
Yeah.
But
Poverty a lot of times brings people closer together. You take a family like the Wayans.
Yeah, but
They didn't have shit else but them.
But when you're in poverty, you know, you're opportunistic, in a lot of ways that may not be, you know, moral.
It can go a bunch of ways, I think, with that. It could be poverty because it could be the stress of like, yo, sometimes your parents might even blame you for the reason why you're in poverty, or like it's like, yo, I wouldn't be in this position if I didn't have children, type shit.
Right.
That's just,
responsibility.
I feel like that's just people. Like
Well,
that's a.
But what I'm saying is in such a like, no, that's
And I'm just speaking from my experience.
resentment can come from or something like that, where you might be like the family's not, the blood's not taking the water. My father treated me this way, my mother treated me this way, my aunt treated me like this. So it's like, yeah, it's yeah, I guess it's tough. And it's like when you do see a good family dynamic from anywhere, you know what I'm saying? It's to me, it's dope to see. You know,
Now I see it and I think about the sacrifice that those parents had to make.
I don't always think about it like that.
But I don't because
Yeah.
then I have like my parents probably but me and Gotti ain't making no. I'm not killing myself to make sure these boys don't see a certain thing or present.
yeah.
But this-
both
Yeah,
Cotty and Keon are at the point now. They're kind of living their dream. You know what I'm saying? When Cotty's writing and Keon's going on the road doing stand-up, making like they're making a living off like. I mean, I'm sure there's sacrifices for sure because you have to make them.
Yeah.
But for the most part, they're doing. They're happy in their purpose, which is like some parents aren't. Like they're like, I just gotta, I gotta do this.
Like, there's a lot of people who go to work only because they have a wife and kids, or
Right.
because they have a husband and kids or whatever. Like, but I would do this without them.
Yeah.
You know, she
Right,
do everything without me.
yeah.
So like,
Yeah.
we're living.
You are living your purpose.
Yeah, we're living, and we make some stuff we can't go, or like I wanted to go to class yesterday, I couldn't go because she had to work. Like that's whatever.
Little minor, compromises.
But yeah, we just living life, and I think that's a common misconception and mistake that a lot of married people, and especially parents, make is they start living for the kids. It's like, nah, y'all was rocking before these kids came, nigga. Like,
1000%. Like,
fuck that.
fuck them. Nah, not fuck them kids.
We
but
know,
fuck them
yeah,
kids.
we know.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
like,
Like-
fuck them kids.
Yeah, I mean, the goal is if we gotta even fly like, you know, our parent out, like Keon said, you know, he said he owes a couple babysits. And we're like, yo, we need to take a day or two, whatever, to just go have fun together with just
Especially if you got good kids. A lot of people don't want to put their kids on people because their kids ain't shit.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't want them to watch me. If you got good kids too, be like,
Yeah.
hey man, watch my kid. We need to go out.
Almost every show that I go to, that I do, it's part of my bit. But I always talk about like, what's the best marriage advice you can give me? Because I'm just brand new married,
Right.
and most of the time I get some bullshit. But one of the things that I have gotten was just like, yo, y'all need to live for like y'all need to have fun with each other and without each other. And the lady was telling me, it's like she was saying in a sense, fuck them kids. Like if you gotta get a babysitter that you trust for like a day or two. Even if it's just for a night to go have fun with each other, even just to go rent a hotel to have sex with nobody there. Just like do that because it's like you're going to you need that for your relationship. Because what happens is a lot of times, especially sometimes with mothers, it's like when they become a mother, that's the most important thing.
That's all they are.
And to them, the husband is now secondary. And as a guy, we don't necessarily take that well all the time.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like she was just like, nah. She's like, I had to learn. She's like, I'm on my second marriage, but she was like, I learned it from my first marriage. My second marriage, we don't have any issues. You know, the kids are still around. We send the kids we get the kids some money and go off somewhere, do some shit.
And I think we're living in a time now where we can be in that first marriage and have those hard conversations.
For sure.
To where we don't learn everything and then apply it.
So
to
we're not
the
getting
second
married at
marriage.
18.
Yeah.
Trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
That's
saying?
fucking
Like,
crazy.
I think that's another topic. We're an hour and 15 in. That's
yeah,
a whole
I
other
gotta
topic.
pick them up.
But like that's a great topic to get into next time about like just the age.
And the last thing on that would just be, I think it helps to have that circle where you can do that.
Yeah.
And for other people to understand. That's why nowadays I like having friends who have kids because they get it.
Yeah.
Like asking somebody who don't have kids to watch it, I ain't watching kids. Well, another couple be like, hey, y'all need this break. Bring the kids over.
Yeah.
We'll watch them.
Yeah.
Y'all, like I think the first date we went on, like mid-parent, my mom made us go. She was like, would y'all go out?
Yeah.
Like, I'll watch the kids. Y'all just go.
Yeah.
Like, I think you have to have people
need
around you
that.
that understand you need this.
Yeah.
So, like I said, him and Janelle are first married. You know, when they have their kid, and I'm like, nigga, we'll watch it. Bring them over. Like, I'll stay in. You know, I don't mind staying in.
Yeah.
I'll stay in, throwing a movie. These kids can have a movie night, whatever. Y'all go out.
Yeah.
If it's too late, then sleep it up. Like we've had a few times where the kid wasn't supposed to sleep over. The parents got too drunk and stayed out. He's like, man, we got extra blankets, extra pair, like whatever y'all do your thing. And so I think it helps to have that circle where everybody understands it too.
For sure. I mean, it takes a tribe, man. People don't.
Hell yeah.
It's about that
It takes
shit.
a village, man.
It takes a village, man. Like one person shouldn't be raising a child by themselves. That's crazy. Even two people.
No, because you're not even done.
Yeah.
You're still growing as people. You need all the perspectives and all their, and you need when you got to be the hard ass. And my mama, they go to my mama and do whatever the fuck they want.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
But that's not her job anymore. When we were growing up, her job was Now her job is what y'all want fruit snacks for dinner?
It's
fine.
Yeah, it is. It's crazy to
Fine.
see a mother become a grandmother. And
Bruh.
that whole the grandmother energy, nigga, is.
I be like,
And I'm like, yo, where was what?
I have to catch myself sometimes for not like quote. I'm using this word very loosely. Checking my mom on I'm like, what they eat? Man, they had Cheetos, and I'm like, they had Cheetos and fruits for dinner, mom. Like, what? That's what they wanted, and I'm like, what the fuck?
Like, hey, mama.
Yeah, man, what the hell? What are you talking about?
That's like a famous Bill Cosby joke. What you were saying was just like when he was like when I guess Bill Cosby had kids and.
Are you mentioning Bill Cosby on this show?
Absolutely.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
He's an amazing storyteller. You seen that? He did what he did was fucked up.
Whoa.
But he had a joke about how how he's like how are he's like talking about the grandparents like who are you?
Yeah.
You were never this when you were raising me. You would beat me. And now you say I would never put my hands on my grandchild. You used to send me to heaven. And it was just like that's kind of how it is. It's like they learn. But it sucks that that's how they had to learn from their mistakes instead of going to like a therapy. And
You know what it is? It's not even learning from mistakes. My dad told me, nigga, you just don't care.
You don't care no more, right?
True.
You just don't care.
Yeah.
So like, what is this harm? And like you said, it ain't much. I'll send them
But
back.
I'm gonna tell you what I'm gonna do right now, though. I'm gonna take what he said and I'm gonna just
Clip.
cut it to I love Bill Cosby. And I'm gonna post it. That's it. And that's it.
Wait, no. You gotta take the clip with the caption. Is rape okay?
Whoa!
No, not a question, a statement. Hashtag rape is okay.
Rape is
Whoa!
I love
And
Bill
then-
Cosby.
and then
And then
cut
cut
it.
right there.
Cut it. We'll have the most views of all time.
Oh shit.
All time.
At that particular point, I would pray. I would pray to God that they actually go watch the whole
my
thing.
God.
They'd be like, oh, okay, thank goodness these niggas
No,
are
we
fucking
have
around.
to release the whole thing.
Yeah.
All right, where you at this weekend?
This weekend, man, Bonfire Story. If you are in the LA area, man, this is the greatest storytelling show of all time. It's called Bonfire Stories. It's when people come through, comedians come through, they tell the wildest, craziest stories. They can be dark, they can be funny as hell. And you, the audience, you get to ask questions. You get to ask questions about their story right after they're finished. You can ask them whatever you want to ask them. There's no limit, no holds bars. You can just ask them whatever you want, man. November 19th, this Saturday. If you're in the LA area, 8 p.m., man. Be there at 7:30. Drinks are there. It's in a nice little comfortable super spot, man. It's at the Glendale Room.
All right.
Man.
When? All right.
So yeah, Glendale Room in Glendale. Come through. It's super, super dope. DM me for the address and tickets are free. So it's a free event. You ain't gotta pay for nothing.
There you go.
Yep.
Gary said he's at Comedy and Magic Club this weekend, Friday and Saturday. Hermosa Beach.
Hermosa.
And I am doing family stuff this weekend. I'm going to Vegas with
I saw Kyron over there. His kids is shaking people out their shoes. They beating people. They just locking people in
the kids are on it now.
headlocks.
Keelan goes twice a day.
Twice a day to MMA?
Mm-hmm. So they going to be Kyron already got the mat cleaned out in his garage so they can all fight. Have at it.
That's dope.
Me and Kyron might go. Psych. I've only had one class. And yeah, then next week we'll post Thanksgiving weekend. And then soon, the capping thing, we're still in talks, but we'll let y'all know. And then other than that,
You just say I love Bill Cosby one more time.
We're gonna cut that right there and have you say it. We're gonna have you say it too. So you're gonna be doubling it down on me saying it. Gary says it too. Two niggas on the podcast say it.
Thank y'all for supporting since day one and keep it's growing and all that other stuff. And I appreciate it. KeonPoli.com on everything. And we'll check it out.
Oh, I feel for my brother.